when we last left our heroes,
take.
okay, take two. When we last left our heroes, they had just arrived in Pinedale. They had made their way through the Chandlewood to make it to the Silvered Harrier. It's nighttime in the Chandlewood, or nighttime in Pinedale. The sun has gone down, and on the hearth, when we last left our heroes, a familiar man had seemingly appeared out of nowhere, sitting on the hearth that is in the center of this pub. Who dressed in beggar's clothes, and who they had seen previously in the vision experience happening thing that they had encountered whilst on their. He's got his hand up.
I have a question.
He has a question.
Appeared at the hearth? You said he appeared on the bar.
No. There's the
sat next to us.
Oh well, no. One of you is sitting actually by the hearth itself.
Oh, we are.
No,
you were. You said you were doing that, as I recall.
I think I was at the bar.
Not everyone was at the bar.
I hadn't made it back yet.
Corbin was sitting by the hearth, and I think he was regaling people with stories or something.
I think that's exactly what you were doing.
You wanted to tell stories, and you didn't get to tell your stories.
Yeah.
Regardless, this man is here, in this tavern. You're in a tavern.
You are in a tavern.
And he says to you, I'm very happy to see you've all made it all the way here to Pinedale.
How are the pigeons?
Yeah, I didn't hear you.
How are the pigeons?
If you must be precise about it, they are canaries, but they're fine. Thank you for asking. Yes.
How the fuck did I get pigeons and canaries mixed up? One is grey, the other one is yellow.
One is yellow, one is a flying rat.
Much smaller.
I'm fairly sure I could tell the difference.
Well, maybe it was different in the dream.
Birds. Okay, rewind, zip, and try again.
Birds. In any case.
Anyway.
Team X, time travelers.
Time fuckery.
I'm going to get the Wayne's World thing going.
It's been one of those days.
Doesn't
matter. So, all right, how are the canaries?
They're just fine. Thank you for asking.
And what would your name be?
Names are unimportant. And now Dren's waving her.
Is he talking to just Bruce Willis, or do I recognize? Yes, I'm calling you Bruce Willis until you tell me otherwise. So, do I notice him?
You do notice him.
Yeah, because I was at the bar. I'm pretty
sure.
You were
at the bar, but all of a sudden, there's like this guy just appears out of nowhere, and Corbin's having this conversation, and yeah, you remember him from that dream, sitting on top of the roof of the burning building from where the archer had disappeared. And we have another question.
I was the only one that saw him in the dream.
Was he?
Yeah. He made a perception check that none of us had.
Everyone else was looking.
Oh, okay.
Busy looking at the mummified husk of Marcus Verlander,
which was terrifying. Thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome.
But would this pique my curiosity?
Corbin having a conversation with someone? Like directed? Maybe.
Nah, okay. Nope, I'm drinking.
With a beggar in a bar.
Yeah,
now, the question becomes, since Clues is from here, is this a beggar she recognizes? Because that may pique her curiosity.
Yeah.
It is not a beggar that you recognize.
But Pinedale's also like a large town, so
it's
might
a large
not
town,
know.
but not many beggars.
It's also not the most easily accessible town in the world.
It's not like a lot of like vagabonds just sort of wander in.
It's not like you go, oh, Waterdeep.
That's true. Okay, so this might slightly pique my interest, and I'm just kind of halfway listening then.
Yeah.
Still drinking.
And he says, why don't we grab your friends and we take a walk? There's a bit around the corner I'd like to get a bite to eat.
With all due respect, we've been walking for 3 days.
Oh, it's just around the corner. And
I'm quite enjoying being off my feet for a while.
I almost want to spin around and go, acquaintance, and then go back.
Also, we're not friends.
Never said
Teammates,
we were.
maybe. Work people.
Co-workers.
Associates.
We're not
Businessmen,
friends.
No.
Oh, no, I'll if you in character say that, I would be like, no, we're friends. You and me.
I'm
And he
gonna
said-
That's,
and
that's
he
always
says-
a
try.
character.
I'll try and catch Hugon's eye and nod towards Thanak, and then like get the big man. We're leaving. Like almost like Han, get the Wookiee. Like
And he
It's
said-
like it's like a sigh of just defeat. Like he's like in the middle of.
you can bring your beer.
And the man looks at you and goes, "No, your friends can bring what they wish."
So do you know anything about that whole?
And you suddenly find yourself now around the corner.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Like,
Whoa.
just like one moment you're in the Silver
Oh, God,
Harrier,
here
and
we
the
go
next
again.
moment you're in front of, and Clues, you're familiar with this. You're in front of this enormous outside, and it's right around the corner, actually, from the Silver Harrier. You had passed it on your way in, and it's this enormous cart that looks like it has all these parts. Like if it were to travel, it would be like a normal sized cart, but it looks like it's got things that like fold down, like kind of like one of those
Okay.
campers.
Yeah.
And inside there's a smoke coming from the chimney and some delicious smells coming out of
guess.
this cart. And there's this enormous orc.
Pineapple.
There's this enormous orc working. You can see him like in this window, like like a service window almost. And
You're
there's
making
a
a
sign.
food truck.
And there's a sign on it, and it says "Groom Shroom's Toasty Treats."
Oh God.
Well, having been like teleported by some nefarious magic, I lose my balance and probably fall over.
All right.
Am I still in a sitting
Just like,
position?
"Oh!"
Yeah, you're sitting on the ground with your.
So like I
With
was
your
like in the
thing.
middle of like trying to stand up.
You're
and,
all
like,
kind of like relative to the same position you were. It's just like where there was a bar, there's like now like nothing. I mean, there's a few like
Yeah.
tables that are like sit out like in front of the food cart,
I fall the fuck over. Just
and the man is right there, and he's ordering the fried mushrooms on a stick.
I'm gonna poke him and cup and say annoyed.
And he
What the
he kind of like
Yeah, WTF?
he budge him and he goes, necessary.
I could
Yes.
have walked.
Really?
He said
I try
Young-
to open my mouth, but like the vertigo is setting in. I'm just like,
he says, young Drenmai, your attention span is such that I did not trust you to make it around the corner. Would anyone else like anything to eat?
Yeah, I had a stew going on. So I want. Wait, what do we have? What's
No,
what's on the
shh,
menu?
who are you?
Those mushrooms look nice. Ooh.
The mushrooms are excellent.
Let's
I
try
do-
this
I
again.
recommend it.
Who are you?
Names are not important, apparently.
A concerned party. Well, someone who's trying to help you.
Do what?
There is a natural flow to the world.
Well,
A
yeah.
balance. A balance of control and chaos. Of
Light side and dark side.
light side, dark side, knowledge, ignorance. And what's important,
Peanut butter jelly.
actually, they have this peanut butter and jelly.
Oh.
I don't know
Blackberry
what
jelly.
they do. He fries it somehow. I don't know.
Oh,
It's delicious.
I want that.
And he turns and he orders from the orc, and he puts in another order for the fried peanut butter and jelly, and he says, and in this balance, there's the pendulum must always swing, sometimes from one extreme to the other. But it's very important that the pendulum continue to swing. Sometimes there will be overwhelming chaos, but it will always be followed by order and back to chaos. This is the flow of the world. This is the way things are supposed to be. There's a balance, and the problem is There are
Excuse
tho-
me. Is there a point anywhere in our future?
I can feel Hugo getting pissed off.
There is, child, and I would recommend waiting. Because patience is also a virtue.
Aye. But today has been a long day.
You have many long days ahead. And
Great.
potentially an even longer night. For there are those who would wish to stop the swinging of that pendulum. And no matter how good their intentions, no matter where the pendulum stops, if it is to stop, it is quite simply the end. No matter how good intentioned they are on this. And the reason why I bring this to your attention is you will find yourselves in a position to keep the pendulum moving.
That implies that we will also be in a position to stop it. The opportunity to keep it moving.
There are many paths in front of you. But you've seen one potential future.
Oh.
And is Dren poking on the guy's leg, like,
Uh-huh.
and he looks down at you. Yes. It's not done yet. Come on, he's still cooking this food.
Groomshroom is like, it's ready when it's ready.
No, Groomshrooms is the name of the thing. He actually, you heard him refer to the orc as Frug.
Okay.
Frug. That is
Frug,
such a
owner of
cool
Groomshroom.
Groomshroom's Toasty Treats.
I get the feeling Thunuk's going to become a regular there.
He says, there are many paths in front of you. There are many potential outcomes.
Dren looks around.
But it's important that of all of the paths that I can see, your group is at the center of many of them. And you have the unique ability to make sure that the light of hope does not get extinguished.
Light of hope?
I just felt
Figure
that I
of
should...
speech or...
And he reaches up and he hands down to you the fried peanut butter and jelly. It's like this square.
Nom,
Almost
nom,
like
nom, nom, nom.
it's like a ravioli almost.
Oh,
But it's like lightly fried, and it's like fried with like this almost like the cinnamon spice on it.
Mm.
And when you bite into it, it just oozes
oh, okay.
peanut butter and strawberry jam.
So
She's lost her train of thought.
I'm so tempted to take it away as she goes.
And she just said, no.
No.
It's like a Labrador following a treat, just.
I'm not gonna do that.
But he says, I know you've had a long journey, but you're about to be busy and with other things, and I just thought I would put it on your radar.
Put what?
So what are you then?
A pendulum.
Our benefactor or our patron?
A concerned party.
Annoyed.
Useful.
Bored.
You guys can't take my trope because I say that out loud. Unless you all say it out loud.
Yep.
And he,
Okay.
And he says,
And Sanuk. Mushroom.
Hungry.
Yeah.
and he hands you this stick, and the stick is for you it's about a foot long, and it's just stacked with these thick, juicy, sautéed mushrooms that have been rolled in spice. And he hands you this stick, and he says, "Shroom on a stick."
Ooh.
So, why would we believe you?
You have no reason to.
Right.
But
Honest.
I would say,
Other than playing the gnome with sugary treats, which is probably you're going to disappear later and leave us to deal with the fallout of that.
I'm
A
not
drunk,
sure that you could.
hyperactive gnome.
I think she's at her limit with that. I'm not sure any more sugar could potentially make that worse.
Right.
But you have, to your first question, you have no reason to believe me.
How do we know in this play of yours that you're not the double agent? That you're not the one coming to us and saying, you have this opportunity to keep the pendulum swinging, do this thing, and if we do the thing, then the pendulum's going to stop swinging anyway.
I'm not going to tell you to do anything. You have your own choices to make. I'm merely putting it on, bringing your attention
Because
to.
you've clearly got some form of power, right? The ability to teleport at people and show up in shared visions and that kind of fucking cock muppetry.
Indeed.
So why the fuck don't you fix it?
What is it? Are you going to say pawns on a chessboard? Is that where you're going with this?
It is not for
Waiting
me
for
to
Hugon.
fix. It is for the people of this world to fix.
Right. That's what I
So you're not of this world. You some kind of fucking alien?
Can I see this guy's face, Brian?
Yeah, he just looks like an
Just
old,
a dude. Dude.
an old beggar with wizened eyes. It's just he's someone yeah, just kind of like an old nondescript beggar who somehow has the coin as he flips coin over to Frug to pay for the.
So
pay for the food.
why did you pull us into that vision?
To show you one potential path. Should
So what you're telling us is you pulled us into a place where we saw death and destruction and fire and just ruin,
And an old dead guy.
and you want us to trust you.
I want you to trust what you see.
Now what I saw was you prevailing us with doom and fucking gloom. How about you do something trustworthy?
No.
All right. I
You
will
have
happily enjoy stopping your pendulum.
It's not my pendulum.
The metaphorical your pendulum. You are the one that introduced it into the conversation.
I understand
I
that.
think he means more our world.
If you choose,
I left the army because this shit kept happening. Everything was so much more complex. I wanted some simplicity in my life. Clearly, I was mistaken.
all I want is for you to know that this is one potential way that this could go. And if you decide to do something about that and protect your world and know that there are those who are posing grave threat, then that's up for you to make that decision. If you decide that you will do nothing, then that is for you as well.
You're talking like you're trying to be benevolent here.
I'm merely speaking of what is
Of
potentially
what?
to be.
But
The end of everything. If that doesn't concern you, then I
aren't
can't
you
make
part
it.
of everything?
I am.
So fix it.
There-
No, it's not my position to fix it.
Not this. There are other things that beyond your understanding of which we are trying to fix.
Do we have a particular?
Here's a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if. Well, okay. Does it seem like when he's talking to us, like
Mhm.
he's trying to follow a set of rules? Like, is he like trying to choose his words in such a way that
He doesn't violate some
some sort of procedure or statute. He's trying to tell us as much.
Perception.
Yeah, give me a perception.
I'm gonna do it too.
check. Or I would even say, Hugon. In your case, you might even be able to get away with like a history check on this.
All right.
If that's a better check. Would you roll? Yay!
I'm in sugar like heaven.
I have
She
a
just-
Nom,
So Dren's just sitting here.
whatever. Sure. Just keep giving me the good.
17 total.
Just she's got like peanut butter and jelly just like all over her face.
Ugh, no.
like what a kid eats, and most of it doesn't hit the mouth.
It ends up all
It's
here.
just in the face
Yeah.
zone.
It's like that classic spaghetti kid sitting
Yep.
on the high chairs. Like
It
This
goes
is-
everywhere but
Thi-
the crotch.
This part is
Yep.
clean. This part is
Clean?
perfectly clean.
Yeah.
Everything else.
Mess.
in
Like
the
on the
hair.
walls.
Like somehow she's gonna get up and there's like jam.
Your-
Like somehow you are never near here, but you're sticky.
Exactly.
That's disgusting.
And it's
That's
not
like a s-
only the, it's not
that's
only
like-
the stick. We're outside, so there's dirt, and hands are getting in it.
Yeah. So that's just peanut butter, and then there's like the
Oh.
dirt film over top of it.
Oh.
But you're still doesn't matter. So,
is there somehow more than there really should have been?
Yeah,
it multiplied.
So it's like
Like-
peanut butter splash damage.
infinite amounts of jelly.
It's like when you cut it's like when you cut a tomato, a cherry tomato, and way more stuff comes
Yeah.
out of it that could potentially be in there.
Like that's not right. That's not possible.
you just look over and you see like
It's
you see
a
Dren on the
quantum
floor.
it's a
just covered.
quantum fried ravioli.
Okay,
But anyway, back to Hugon with a 17.
17.
Yeah, you know what? You'd say he is picking his words very
like
carefully.
a politician would pick his words,
Or even
like
like
a noble.
even like you've seen some officers where they weren't able to reveal the entirety, all of the details of the mission.
Okay.
So that does this is ringing true with you. Even there's been times where you yourself have had to
Right.
potentially
right.
withhold certain pieces of information from
a
those in
need
your
to know
command.
basis.
Yeah.
Like, and like clearance. We clearly don't have it,
Yeah.
and so like, so this guy kind of came into the area. Was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna have to tell them some shit, but I can't tell them some shit. And then he tried to get us to do what he wanted,
Mm-hmm.
and then he did not anticipate philosophy dwarf. He's
So what's in it for us?
that's a good question. I like that question.
You mean
Besides survival.
aside the reality as we know it being destroyed?
But we don't know that's actually gonna happen.
This is true.
We've just got your word for it. This is what I'm saying.
You have my
You
word
don't-
that
you
it's
won't
one
even give us-
potential path.
Like you won't even give us a made up name. You'll just be like, "Oh, I'm the mysterious beggar that plays with canaries that look like pigeons."
Master Dwarf, those in glass houses should not throw stones.
Hey now,
The
Oh,
difference being, my friend, I prove to these three people that I will fight to protect their lives. All you've shown me is the willingness to show me death and destruction, and zero fucking respect.
hey,
confusion.
I got a question for you. Where are you from? Who's your boss?
Sorry, I broke out to sing "Song in My Head" from
What's,
Let Down Under.
What's the
My land down under.
you've
the
got
women
you've got
cry
this
and plunder.
Continue.
you like
And that's what Dren says. She starts laughing and just like continue.
She starts singing over in her little like mess-filled dirt area. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
It's just getting
But-
worse. It's like now it's like
when can
get,
you
like,
cast
like
silence, Bob?
these bat
when
wings
can that
of
happen?
jelly.
Anyway.
I'm not gonna take silence.
Oh, okay. um, yeah,
I have other ways to quiet the gnome.
true. I just you're clearly a you're not playing by the same playbook as us down here. You're following some of the same rules, but you're talking to pawns, functionaries, people who get their hands dirty. You have no intention of telling us anything more than what you just did, and that's very curious. I'm curious as to what level you occupy. Where are you fitting into this game? You're concerned about the pendulum as much as you want to pretend to not be. You want us to stop it, or you want us to keep it moving in any case. I think it would behoove you to maybe give us some concrete answers. Or it's your ass too. Because that's the way it works.
Alas, such answers.
There are no concrete answers.
There are none. I wish I could give you a
No,
safe
you
path.
don't. I had a
Does he
lieutenant.
do
I
that
had a
in here?
lieutenant like you once. He fell down some stairs.
Oh God! Please tell me we're not threatening.
Oh, I'm
you
not gonna
again,
fight him. I'm
Xenogogue.
just like
I'm not threatening anyone. I'm just like,
I smell his bullshit from way over here.
Okay.
long story short, my friend, you call me a man in the glass house, but I have proved to my 3 teammates I will fight for them, and I will die for them, and I will respect them, and I will talk to them. You have proven nothing
Bullshit,
to
no.
us. You have proven nothing to us, except for the fact that you can teleport people around and put visions of death and destruction in our heads. Why would we play your game?
It's your choice whether you choose to or not.
Is there money in it?
No.
Are you paying us?
Of all people, of all the heroes
Of all.
on the face of Faerun, you come to us?
Probably not a good idea.
No offense, mate.
I love the confidence
you-
level.
Like, no offense,
Oh,
but
I have plenty of confidence. I just know that I'm not a hero.
I'll say, no offense, but A, we're not that great at heroing, and B, we're kind of shite. That
This is-
one,
The,
he thumbs to the gnome, can't keep her eyes off,
Yeah.
can't keep herself clean and doesn't want to listen to anyone. That one over there, he points at Hugon, is more likely to stab you than talk to you. And that one, he points at Thanak, it's like, I have no idea, to be honest.
At this point, since people are actually pointing at him, Thunuk has some thoughts that he would like to express.
okay.
And he's like, he looks at Hugo and is like, I washed my hands. Because earlier you were saying, getting our hands dirty. I'm like, I washed my hands, they're clean.
I will explain it later.
And as he's saying that, he's like, oh, you made that thing happen that last other night with the gnomes and the fire and the gnolls, I mean. When was that? That happened. Will happen. When was that? Or is that?
Huh.
Several months from now.
You already knew that. Also, the prosecution rests.
Ah.
She's getting it out of her eyes, like in her ears now.
I'm just like,
The reason
you've given us no reason to believe you or understand you. For all we know, no offense or anything, for all we know, you're a mage in the employ of Duran Enterprises trying to undermine Acquisitions Incorporated by making us look bad.
That's fair.
I don't even know who they are, so
But
Yeah.
I will say this. The reason why I have approached you of all others is you are true to your own natures. And you bring balance to each other between the desire for pacifism and the will to move to violence when necessary, between the need for order and the need for chaos, creation, destruction, knowledge, ignorance. And you sell yourself short. On many of these paths, you achieve great things.
And another one's I end up dead.
I mean, I was only going to live 30 more years anyway.
There are paths where I end up dead.
Good paths.
No. Well, one of them was. But I can't tell you what your future holds. I can only tell you the potential path that we are approaching now. And it's important that this be mortals that handle this. I will lend assistance where I can. But along the way, the only thing I can say is to keep your eyes open and trust your own judgment. If you judge me to have been false, then you can take the action you feel is necessary. But my thoughts are that when you finally do see the forces at work, you will be able to reach your own judgment. And I trust that you will be able to choose the path that you feel is the correct one. And with that, and he finishes, and he's been sort of like noshing on like this, the stick of shrooms.
Right.
The shroom stick. And he says, I feel that I've told you all I can at this point, and I wish you luck on your future endeavors, and perhaps we will meet again.
Let me ask
I'm sure that we're going to meet again.
Before you go, let me ask you one question. Let me ask you one simple question.
Okay.
How many more people have you gone to before us with this that have failed to keep the pendulum going?
None.
So we're to believe we won the lottery.
If you choose to look at it that way. And with that, he just vanishes. Like, no puff of smoke. Yeah. No, like, gesticulation. He's like, one moment he's there, and the next moment he's just not there. But, sitting on
Is the food truck still there?
The food truck is still there. Yes. Oh, yes, the food truck is still there. Don't worry.
Is the food truck like a staple of Pinedale?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I get
yeah.
the feeling we're going to be spending a lot of time here.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna like silently pick up a menu and order some vegetarian food, like vegetable tempura and shit like that.
He does this wonderful thing with compressed soy.
I'll try some of that.
This man this whatever it was not probably man or anything for that matter.
Carry on.
His job was to put seeds in our mind for this event in this future. And he was playing by a set of rules that I'm very familiar with. I'm sure you picked up on it. His inability to give us a straight answer, his inability to divert the conversation from anything other than dealing with his foolish pendulum. He's looking for soldiers. That's what he's looking for. He's recruiting. Go do this great and wonderful thing, or go do this great and terrible thing. Save the world, destroy the world. Whatever you want.
While I'm over at the cart ordering away from the table, I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals on myself.
Okay.
And then when I come back from ordering, I'm just gonna start talking to Drenmai's pet dragon. Like, is she always like this?
Yep.
No, I can literally understand what it says.
Yeah, but he doesn't really have language because he's a mechanical dragon, but he can understand you and you can understand him.
Yeah,
So even though he
it's
might
a
go, it's like, okay, yeah, you know.
Okay. I can
There's-
understand what he means.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's no.
Yeah, this is pretty par for the course.
That's pretty much it. That's it. It's like this really deep, like smoker's voice. Yeah.
Everyone else hears, "Meh," and there's like this whole
Yeah.
subtitle block shows up.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Meh, and then it's like to be or not to be. That is the question whether it's over in the mind to suffer the slings now as well.
Yeah, he speaks like it's symbolic language, you know, where it's like the one word actually represents entire thoughts.
It's communication bursts. He speaks
It's
in
Groot.
binary.
It speaks in Groot.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
So is there anything we need to know about this one? Not at Dren.
He says, "Not really. She's just nuts.
She's just fucking insane.
She's just
Yeah, best of fucking luck with this one.
yeah." No.
How long have you been with her?
Drenmai, how long has?
Oh, let's see. I made him probably like a good 20 or so years ago.
So do you remember the guy in the cloak?
He would, yes.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, he came in. He was a shady motherfucker.
I expected as much.
Yeah, it was
What about you? What do you like doing?
sleeping.
What's fun around here?
Fun around for me?
Hey, yeah,
Fuck,
sure.
I just try to sleep without her waking me up. That's I don't need much. I don't.
He
There's-
likes getting treats from the local
you
kids.
eat?
He likes playing with the
Like-
local kids. He does eat.
Okay, there.
like what? Like you're an incredible thing, my friend.
Yes, he's very cool.
I know. I keep trying to tell people, but they all go, "Oh, look how cute he is. Oh, let me give him a little treat. I'm gonna pet him on the head." And it's like, you idiot! Don't you get it?
What does she call you?
What does he call?
Raslim, or Razzie. I
Razzie.
call him Razzie.
Is that your actual name?
Fuck, that's not my real name.
What is your
I can't
real
even
name?
pronounce my real name.
It
It's
just
all
occurred to me.
consonants.
All right. Let me ask you this:
There's no consonant.
what would you like to be called?
I made him. I named him.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that's his name, though. It's like your dog.
Yeah.
Is that really your dog's name? Your dog might have a different name.
I didn't literally
For all
like,
you-
piece
for-
together my
For all
dog.
you know, you created a gender fluid dragon, and you keep calling it him.
No, it's a guy.
This is true.
It's like Marge. It's like Marge Simpson's
Yeah.
sisters. Oh, what a pretty baby. Just
We're gonna go watch MacGyver.
MacGyver.
It occurs to me that this entire time he's talking to. So
Oh, yeah.
he's speaking. You're speaking
I'm
common
speaking
or whatever,
common.
Yeah.
and we're getting half this conversation.
You guys can react to this when, I ask the dragon, "What do you want to be called?"
Prince Razafal Alarian III, heir to the throne of the tiny gold dragons.
Could I
Don't
call
even ask
you?
me how to fucking spell that. Do not.
Someone,
just-
someone in chat will get it.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yes, please. It's up to you guys.
So, for brevity's sake, I'm gonna call you Prince. Is that okay, or Your Majesty?
Oh
That's
God.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God.
What's the name of the orc, by the way, in the truck?
Frug?
Frug, Froog,
Frug, the Goramand orc.
and he is proprietor of Groom Shroom's Tasty Treats.
Toasty treats.
Toasty Treats.
Toasty treats. Tasty's implied.
You guys just totally transformed my inner monologue of how Razzie sounds.
Well, he can
Nice.
still sound one way to you because it's reality being fluid and all. Thunuk,
And now that he's a third, I'm gonna have to like go back in my backstory and create two others of him.
but it could be that they like exist in the past somewhere.
Yeah.
I
Like,
guess
there's like this
maybe.
one singular.
For all you
spirit.
know, for all you know, you've tapped into some like celestial consciousness.
That'd
so
be
they-
kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's like an
Because
aspect.
he
Yeah.
is made up of bits of actual creatures. He's just mainly mechanical.
Thunuk, do a quick perception check for me.
So I'm gonna just while away the next 10 minutes until the spell runs out.
Mm-hmm.
Just chatting with the dragon and,
Just shooting
Poor
the shit.
Razzie.
and completely ignoring all talk of the fucking bald guy.
While he's doing that, I'm actually asking the orc if he has any spider legs.
And
I
he said,
assume orcs like to eat things like cave spiders and crap like that. So I'm like,
Racism.
No, that's a
You have no room to talk.
I'm aware. That's why I'm saying.
okay,
he
no,
says-
Thunuk doesn't assume that. I, the player, assume that, and Thunuk wants spider legs.
And he says, I have not been able to get spider legs for the longest time. Like the big ones, right? The ones that are like, oh God, I would love to get some in. I just can't seem to get them.
Ooh.
So if you come across any, please let me know, and we'll work something out.
Okay.
There's
Quest.
there's a place a bit further down the trail that we found really big spider webs.
Well, if there's big spider webs, there's probably big spider legs. So
Would you be interested in us getting them for you?
Oh my
absolutely.
No.
Quest.
This entire time, Thunuk's like,
Just this little lot of drool. Yeah.
also 17.
Oh,
To
17.
answer yeah.
You notice that you're do you wear like a jacket with pockets, or do you have more like just everything's on your back? Like what's the getup that you're wearing?
It's sort of like a vest with like just two pockets. Like it looks very like a cross between a cleric's standard getup, that traveling getup, and vagabond type stuff, because it's hard for him to find clothes in his size.
It's just kind of sewing stuff together and
Yeah, but I mean, he has a handful of pockets, but he keeps most everything in his backpack.
one of your pockets feels heavier than it did a second ago.
Okay.
Like right when the guy disappeared, you felt your one pocket now feels like it's heavier, like there's something in there that wasn't before.
Invasive motherfucker, putting people's things in pockets, teleporting us around without permission.
And go ahead and open your letter. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Well, I'm
We're
going to
good.
check my pocket.
Well, you pull out
Where
this
is?
round disc, and the disc has a symbol. It doesn't look like. Hang on, I'll get to you. The disc, it has a symbol on it, and it's not anything that you recognize. It just looks like almost like topographical information you'd see on a map. The circle looks like it's the exact same size as the blank discs that you saw. This disc is the same size as these blank circles you saw in that strange doorway that you have in your office in the basement of the Silvered Harrier.
Neat.
So yes, Drenmai, you had your hand. Your hand was up.
I was knocking on the cart.
Oh,
How much
I
did
was
you
like, I
say?
thought she was waving her hand. Like,
No, I'm sitting there knocking on the cart. How much would you say that spider legs are worth to you?
oh, let's see. You can sell them they're a delicacy, so they're like 5 gold pieces.
Jesus
I would
Christ.
give you, is 1 gold each fine for each leg?
Done. I'm gonna go wander off somewhere and clean up.
Just kidding.
You don't know where.
Well,
You
there's a
just.
fountain. There's a fountain in the middle of the square.
Oh,
I'm
please.
gonna jump right in it.
No.
Yep. It's my town.
This is probably something that happens fairly regularly.
They know me
yeah,
here.
exactly.
So I finished talking to the dragon.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you, Prince. I will speak to you later, Your Majesty.
And now it's back to. Meh.
And I will literally just stand up and walk away. I'm just gonna go back in the bar.
Okay.
I'm gonna go try earn some coin.
Oh, telling your stories or gambling? Or all
So
the
I'm
above?
gonna try and be a bard. Since I took a level in bard.
Might as well bard up some.
Yeah.
Bard it.
One might call it barding.
So you have about 2 business days before you're supposed to meet with the centaur. the centaurs that are mediating this negotiation that you guys are the contract that you guys decided to take. So you
Yeah.
have about 2 days to while away before you have to do anything about that. So what is it that you would like to do with either the rest of this night? Are there any specific tasks you'd like to accomplish? Is there anything you'd like to do to prepare?
I would like to try and make some money from being a bard.
Well,
Yeah, I
yeah,
wanna
no, I know
go-
that's okay.
So
I
how
want to
would
go
I
listen
is
to
it
our
like
bard.
performance check or
Well, what is it? What is it that you're looking to do? Because I guess your bardic ways are more of the storytelling, raconteur type of way, as opposed to
yeah,
pleasing
it's
them,
all it's
pleasing them
more
with
about
song.
it's more about telling stories of like ancient battles or fairy tale, like the sort like
Or a
read the
bawdy
room,
joke here and there.
bawdy joke here and there. Yeah, totally. Just like like read the room, see what they'd be into, and tell an appropriate
Okay.
story. I guess.
So you come walking back into uh you come walking back into the Silver Harry. Are you going back to I guess you're going back to that your
Mhm.
bar? Or, okay. So so what do you do when you get in there? Are you just like climbing up on a table and you just launch right in? Like what's your usual
Well,
approach to
well, the
this?
first thing is you got to read the room, right?
Yeah.
So, is there a stage? Um, is there a is there a place where these people they usually have bards performing? Is this the sort of place that is used to having music and entertainment with their drinks and food? Like, I got to read that, and then if there's no if there's no uh stage, like I can be
Th-
like,
Uh,
okay,
yeah. There is a small raised, I guess, like platform
mhm,
in the one corner of the room. I mean, it's not a huge pub. I mean, it's packed. I mean, there's people, all the
yeah, yeah,
miners and everyone coming in. Um, but yeah, there's a little like raised platform in the side
mhm,
where people could go. You also have that hearth, that circular hearth in the middle that has like the if you wanted to stand on that, so there's room for interpretation for how you think would be
mhm,
best. Most of this is these are miners. So this area, like we had talked about last week, is this section of town. This is the main road that's coming back from the upper mines. So you get a lot of the miners that are coming in. This is where they're grabbing a bite to eat, grabbing a drink after a day. Some of them, if they're working the night shift, might be coming in. Well, they probably won't be coming in to drink before going to the mine. At least you hope they wouldn't.
So, um, are we seeing any of the red sashes? Are we seeing any of the
Nope.
Lord of
Thank
Masses
God.
stuff
Nope.
here? All right,
Nope. This is all
but
just Pinedale
but
folks.
this is within Lord of Masses' sort of
Not really.
jurisdiction.
There's really no lordship over Pinedale because of its remoteness, because of the difficulty getting there. There might be lords that will try to claim.
Like,
Uh,
who owns the keep, for example?
it was when the Balthazars passed away. It was willed to the people because he had no
All right.
living heirs.
So the Balthazars. Do I know anything about like large battles or great stories from their family history?
Oh, absolutely. Here, and I think you and I
So
had talked about that. I'm trying to
so
remember.
I'm not gonna. What I'm gonna do is I'll take a few minutes. I'll finish my drink.
Yeah.
I'll set it down, and I will enter the hearth.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be, ladies and gentlemen, gather around, blah 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 blah, and I will start to tell the story of one of these great battles and what brought the Balthazars to power within Pinedale, and why weave in a few like jokes here and there, and like I'm not gonna do the whole routine,
Yeah.
but but that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be like trying to entertain, like, even if I don't make any money out of it, it's just
Yeah.
something to pass the time.
No,
really.
You and I had actually written about this, and this was nothing that was like
No, we
esoteric. No, because no, we talked when we were first doing character creation. We had talked a little bit about the history of Pinedale And
I'm not from this area.
no. No, but you would have known the story.
Yeah.
And it's nothing. It was nothing esoteric. I'm not giving for the folks watching at home. I'm not giving anything away. I'm gonna have to look that up now because you and I actually came up with some cool stuff, and I can't remember any of it because it was three or 4 months ago. But okay, so you're launching into that.
So should I just do like a performance
Yeah,
check?
do a performance.
Or...
Yeah.
Not bad.
Okay.
23.
A 23. That would count. So that would be like I'd give that your first hour is a 23.
Okay.
So how many? I mean, is this like this would be like you'd be like an all night thing.
I will keep going till people don't want to listen anymore. Like the whole point about being a bard is you read the room,
knowing when.
Yeah.
Okay, so your first set, you do your hour long, the epic battle,
and then like the second half, I'll do more like jokes and limericks and like lighten up the mood a bit and try and like encourage people to buy more drinks and so it's more money for the.
Well, that's
the
the whole
house,
point, right? Yeah, the house wants that. Yeah. So for your first set, that would get you 11 gold tipped to you.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money.
With a 23, I fucking hope so.
Well, that you got to figure it's not. But remember, it's not each person tipping 1 gold. It's like a lot of coppers.
It's a bunch of people throwing copper and silver, and 11 gold from one room of people after an hour is
for 23, and
but
it's a good story.
It's a 23, dude. Like,
and this is.
I know it's great. I'm proud.
To use a parallel. So, in Game of Thrones, the big thing is if you're ever entertaining for the Lannisters, you always play the Reigns of Castamere. That is like what you do for the cat. So here in this room, people like hearing the story of the founding of Pinedale and the bravery.
That's what you open with.
And the legacy, exactly. And it's almost like there's competitions every year, like in the town square, who can do the best telling of the legacy of the Balthazars, So it's like, it's like,
Come on, Bruce Willis. Get it.
No, you say it right. Say it right. Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
It's one word.
One word.
It's one word. It's BRUCEWYLLS.
Excuse me.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce
one
Willis.
word.
You have to commit to it. Just commit to the whole.
Commute. Yeah, I get you.
So
I'm gonna go full Edward Chaucer in A Knight's Tale. That's what I'm like. That's the
my
plan.
lords.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen.
Please tell me you put on a fluffy coat.
He once
Oh no!
spent an entire year in
Hey, you
silence.
said full. He was very shiny.
Without uttering a word, so he could contemplate silence.
Yeah.
So while Bruce Willis is regaling regaling
God
everyone
damn
for
it.
the evening. What else is everyone doing this evening?
Hugon goes and finds a pretty nice whorehouse that also has baths, and he goes there. You don't have to get into that. That's just what Hugon is going to do.
Happens.
He's had enough for today. That's what he's going to do.
Okay.
A long couple of days.
Okay.
How much is that going to cost? What, like 10, 15 gold?
1 million.
You know, 10, 15 gold is like a starting first level character's full amount of gold.
Yeah, it wouldn't be
right?
that much. It'd be some.
It'd be like 1 gold tops.
I'm just
well,
throwing
that's
out
if
a
you're going
number.
top shelf.
Yeah.
I mean, then there's like.
Yeah, what's your
know,
quality?
Are you going like? Are we talking
want-
like Jim Beam?
No. Do you want a girlfriend experience, or are we talking like, under the L tracks?
Also, like you've got to also factor in like what Hugon's into.
No, that's totally fair.
Because there might be like a
There might be
surcharge
some
for the
kitty-
animal.
Fetish.
God damn you, Bob.
Look, not everyone
Surcharge
is,
for the animal. Come
not
on.
everyone is comfortable doing that with a watermelon.
Oh.
Sometimes it's a cantaloupe.
Anyway.
Sometimes a well-formed squash.
Yeah. Like, there's a reason squashes grow in that shape. Like, they've been perfectly evolved by nature for insertion.
So anyway, we'll say, Hugo, are you a top shelf guy, or are we?
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
that'd be
it's been a
goal.
long couple of days. I saw
That'd
a
be a
long
goal.
dead relative try to murder me.
So
I think
are
I
you-
want to forget about the last couple of
So-
days.
entertainment then bath, or bath then entertainment?
Both.
Oh, but you're
Entertainment
bookending.
in the bath.
And then like before, after, dirt, like just a whole,
Okay.
however many it's gonna take. Just
So
They call it the Baron's Special.
God damn it.
I'm writing that down. The Baron Special. That is now canon. So, and surprisingly, it happened at Baron's House of Nook Nook. So, Drenmai, Thunuk, what are your plans for this evening? We got Corbin participating in the world's second oldest profession. We've got Hugon partaking of the world's oldest profession, which usually feeds the stories into the world's second oldest profession.
Thunuk is going to go back into the bar, remembering that he had a big bowl of stew and a big beer waiting for him on the way.
So it didn't matter that you just had this entire stick.
Oh no, he's hungry.
Oh yeah.
He could probably eat several of Drenmai and still be
I'm
hungry.
thinking like Thunuk is kind of like the Andre the Giant, where you put down like
Yes.
a case of beer and it's like, all right,
What's next?
that was my warm up.
Yeah, he's like 800 feet tall.
All
I'm sure.
right, so you're going in.
Going back in and he's going to look at this. What would we call it? It wasn't a coin. It was a
plate.
plate
Some kind.
disc. He's gonna look at this disc. It's just, in his hand and just really like try and figure it out and like because he's still thinking about those spiders.
Still forget the spiders. Does Thunuk, do you have any arcana to speak of?
No.
Okay.
Guys, I'm ever so sorry. I'm getting a phone call from the hospital. I
Okay.
do need to take this.
All right.
Break
Oh no
time.
problem.
Do you want
I know
us
it-
to, do you want us to take a break right now, or
No, go ahead because I'm
All right.
busy telling stories.
he's telling
so
stories? Okay.
Okay.
Go.
I will
Alright.
just mute my microphones and everything.
Okay. All right. So, yes, you don't have any
But I do have a habit of not getting lost, and I am the cartographer.
Ah, okay. So give me either a nature or a survival check. How'd you-
Survival it is. 18.
18.
Nice.
18. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. I also see your Goku thing behind you there.
Oh, that's right. That is
Oh.
what that is.
That's my sweatshirt.
So Thunuk, this is a waystone.
A
You-
waystone.
You seem to remember. You're not sure if someone told you about this, if you saw one of these when you were a youth, if it's part of just your family unit's lore,
Mm-hmm.
but you do know that this has something to do with traveling great distances at great speed.
Oh, for a moment there, I thought you were going to tell me this was like the Faerun equivalent of a Stargate key or something. It is. Great.
Yeah,
Shit,
but
he saw through it too quickly. Damn.
but you
Fuck.
no, but this is but that's what you know what this is, but you know that it doesn't operate by itself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pair it. Actually, you know that there's you usually need 3 discs to make everything work.
Gotcha.
All right, wait. When he comes back, wait a minute. Just play with me here for a second. All right. So the bar is now on fire. Drenmai, what do you do?
I'm gonna light it more on fire.
Why?
It's already on fire.
I'm sorry. I'm
We're gonna-
sorry.
Listen, when you're giant, you just can't put your hands on anything. It's gonna fucking fall over, and now the building is on fire.
I said whoops.
Listen, that,
Well, we could just make it more on fire, and we can cook something.
that does
maybe.
not absolve you from burning the building down, and you are just as bad, Mr. Enmai.
Guys, I had so much planned.
What do I miss?
We set everything on fire.
No, they're not set everything on fire, and you tried to fire the fire.
I haven't rolled for it yet.
I rolled poorly.
Actually,
don't.
nothing's on fire.
No,
We
Yeah,
just-
no. We're screwing around.
So anyway, no, Thunic had discovered that the is everything okay? First of all, is everything all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got an appointment next week that I needed to do some like pre-checking.
Okay.
But we
So-
just wanted to play the player left the table prank.
What hap- the responsible adult left the table and fire.
And everything is now on fire.
No, what Thunic found was that the disc in his pocket is a waystone that's used in conjunction with other stones to help move great distances very quickly. And he's eating his platter of
Hey,
food.
Carrots are fantastic.
Carrots are
Don't talk
good.
shit about carrots.
Carrots are wonderful. Drenmeyer, are you up to anything this evening?
Let's see. Well, I went originally to go listen to Bruce Willis tell some of his stories.
No. Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. Look at that like no space thing going
Yeah.
on. Would Hugon have left his gear or taken it with him?
Uh-oh.
No.
You don't bring weapons into a whorehouse.
All right, cool. Can I make a stealth check to steal whatever weapons he has?
Yes, you absolutely can. I was hoping
All
you were
right.
going to do this.
That's an 18.
Yep.
Oh, 18.
So you get 18. All right. So you
Hey, I'm gonna bugger off over to my shop with his shit.
with his halberd
Yes,
And
Oh,
flail.
I already
and
know what-
flail.
Aren't these like family memento weapons?
The halberd is, yeah, that was a gift from the unit when I retired.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Everything's fine.
Hugo's gonna choke him though.
I have a table for this. No,
It's
I
not
had
that
there is already a table set up for
there's-
when Drenmai steals your shit.
I'm so glad that you
now
set up
listen.
the table because I'm like, okay, what can I do?
No,
'Cause know
I
a
believe
certain
me,
amount
I've
of
got.
things.
His armor is there too, so
No, I don't care about armor
Oh,
yet.
she could.
I
You,
do-
you just see the armor moving with her inside of it. It's just like,
I do have a question.
yeah.
How is a 3-foot tall gnome secretly carrying?
In the most hilarious way
8-foot-long
possible, where she's
halberd.
just like dragging it behind her.
Because
Do
I
you remember
don't
that
have
23
to-
notch in the
My-
ground.
So I would like while I'm in the middle of my story and she's coming down the stairs with the halberd, I want to walk over and just grab the halberd and lift it up with her legs kicking off the bottom.
Hey, I had a stealth check.
I will match you.
Okay,
Roll your stealth check. What was it?
No, she
It's
rolled an
18.
18.
18.
Now that you would have to take it again with disadvantage when you're carrying an 8-foot-long halberd.
Nah, I think she's all right with the 18. I want this to happen.
All right.
I really want this to happen.
Well, that's a natural 16 plus my perception of 5, which is 21.
I want to cast minor illusion.
You don't know you've been spotted. Like she can have the flail. She can have the flail. I can't say both weapons. But I know what this halberd means to Hugon.
Well, here. Would he actually? Because he's all engrossed in his storytelling.
All right, I will roll it at disadvantage.
Okay.
That's a natural 20.
God damn it.
So it's still 21.
Fine. I run off with the flail.
So I pick you up. I pick the halberd up. Right.
I drop.
You kick your feet off the bottom. You're like disappointed, and you run off dragging the flail behind you.
It's like a can. It's like a can on a string, but like,
Yeah.
taking chunks out of the floorboards.
And I work the halberd into the story, like it was like the weapon that was
Like
used.
talking about the siege line.
Yeah. Make it look completely natural to cover her escape.
It is a really good thing that Hugon is not in the building and won't
Oh,
for the next
dude.
14 hours.
Okay. So I make it back to my shop. So
Quickly, before you stole the halberd, were you impressed with the storytelling?
I
Considering I
was.
rolled a 23.
Yeah, I like the stories.
All right, cool.
It's when you started getting into like the jokes and stuff. I'm like, I'm 394 years old. I've probably
Oh,
already heard everything.
And most of them were probably puns.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I've lost interest. I'm going off to go steal some shit.
Not
'Cause
steal.
I see.
Realistically reassign.
Yeah, I'm gonna improve it. I mean, it's a stick with another stick. I gotta do something.
All right,
to
hang on, let me see.
This is
Oh.
in terms of the flail. Like, think of the way a flanged mace head looks. It's
Yeah.
got like the flat edges. They're not really blades, but they're striking surfaces that come off around it. Think about that attached to a kind of a pretty thick chain and maybe 24-inch long iron wrapped or iron reinforced stick.
Yeah, it's a stick with a stick. So I'm like,
well, it's a stick with a metal ball of doom on the end of it.
Not
oh,
anymore.
so you have like
Oh,
a
that's a
morning
morning
star
star.
type.
No, a morning star is a shaft of wood attached to a spiky head. A
That's a
flail
mace.
is a
Mace-
mace is a solid metal stick with a solid metal head
Oh.
attached to it.
Yeah,
Well,
a,
I-
ma-
flail is
a mace is pointy, or no, a mace is
a
blunt.
mace is blunt. A morning star is pointy and blunt, and a flail has a chain and a flexible.
See, we were all led astray by Castlevania because the whip with the spiky end was
I
called the Morning
understand.
Star. and
It's
it
okay.
wasn't.
Hmm.
Think about nunchucks, but instead of one of the sticks, it's a big spiky fucking ball.
It sucks.
It's what the one Nazgul had in Return of the
Exactly.
King.
The Witch King of Angmar used one, except his was like a two-handed death thing.
Okay, so
So-
I want to focus more on the spiky bit. Is what I want to try and improve on.
I've already rolled and I know exactly
Okay.
what you've done to this thing.
So I'm sitting here working on my shop and I'm like trying to come up with ideas. What do I create?
So you've installed a switch in the
Okay.
flail handle,
Okay.
and when
Oh,
no,
Oh, no.
it doesn't do propeller
It sings. Woo!
yet.
Everything
it might.
that he does sings.
No, but when you flip the switch and you swing the mace or the flail down, and it embeds itself in the floor, you immediately start hearing like these gears turning, and it's almost like these. So we talked about Stargate, how it has like the iris that closes to keep everything.
Mhm.
Yes.
This goes the opposite direction, starts unfolding, and it creates a little mini barrier.
Okay.
What?
So you can slam this thing into the ground, and it will go chunk, 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 chunk. And it's like this mace head, somehow all the mass in it kind of like unfolds and refolds itself, like on almost like TikTok clockwork,
Yeah.
and then it turns into like a mini barrier that like
It's
one.
like basically you slam it into the ground and a tower shield comes up.
Kind of, but it's enough for like one person to crouch behind. You wouldn't be able to get a lot of people behind it. And
Cool.
and then when you like hit the button again, you yank it back. It like but it takes one action for it to deploy and another action for it to.
That is amazing.
Okay. So
I'm
I'm
amazed.
pleased. I test this a couple times in the shop, and I'm used to things getting broken in my shop anyway. So there's gonna be obviously a few holes in the ground. Nah, it's fine.
I bet it's a little heavier now.
No, the whole point is when I mess with stuff, I only improve it. So it wouldn't
So
get heavier.
It's just the mass. It's the same mass. It's just that
It has somehow been like thinned out.
Yeah,
and
exactly. It just
expanded.
deploys in a different way.
That's
I-
really cool.
I probably use some kind of alternative metal so that way it's like super strong but really thin.
Cool.
So okay, so then do I have to do a stealth check to get it back?
If you want, I mean,
Well, I'm gonna be gone for 14 hours, so
Hugon has a very high opinion of his way with the ladies.
Okay, so
no,
then
it's just
I'm-
endurance, man.
Nah, because in reality, hang on,
yeah, where's his endurance?
Are you rolling? You
I
dick.
am.
No, he's
You have a
spending like.
table for that too?
I will point out he's probably just spending like 13 hours, 59 minutes, and 30 seconds in a bath.
Well, no, maybe.
Eh,
Roll a
And
willpower.
then-
Roll for willpower.
Willpower or fortitude?
Yeah,
it would be
fortitude.
it would be
Fortitude.
it would be Constitution. It would be
It would be a
Constitution,
Constitution
yeah.
save.
What? He falls asleep in the bathtub and drowns?
Yeah.
Oh God. If we have to rescue you from a bathtub, I'll never forgive you.
The bathtub is a mimic.
God.
You lick the
It's a-
bathtub, and the bathtub licks you back.
It's the door.
Okay.
No, you don't have to.
Okay. A Constitution save.
Go for it. Why not?
Hear me out, DM.
Okay.
Derailed poorly.
I haven't rolled yet. Contingent on the result of this roll,
Mm-hmm.
may I use my daily second wind?
Your action surge.
Oh God.
Yes, you may.
To reduce the refraction period?
Yes. This is this
Dungeons and fucking Dragons, man.
Dungeons and Dragons. This is why I love this game, and I don't think Action Surge has ever been used this way.
No, not
No.
Action Surge. Second
Not
wind.
yet.
I'm gonna have to
Second win.
Did he overhear any of my story before he went?
No.
No.
Damn it, because I would have provided him inspiration.
Well, okay. I rolled a 17 on the dice naturally. +4 is a 21.
You okay. That's all right.
Oh
Oh, I don't have
God.
to use it.
No, you're good. You don't even. Yeah, you don't have to use your Action Surge.
It's been a long 3 days.
Your second wind.
It's been such a good long 3 days that you're that good.
You're just like, damn it.
I have a lot of
I'm
experience.
on point.
I know what I'm doing.
Oh my God. Okay.
Does that draw the evening to a close?
Yeah, I get his stuff back in. I put it like exactly how it was, and actually, you know what? I'm gonna write a little note, and I'm gonna leave it next to it, and I'm gonna say it's just on the note. I'm just gonna write "You're welcome," and then I'm gonna go back to
Can
bed.
I say except
You're welcome.
you're welcome?
I love that freaking song.
I would like to point out that the 11 gold I made puts me at 69 gold.
Bow.
It's just a
Very on brand
cornucopia
for today.
of yeah.
So
Anyway,
How much did I lose?
don't worry,
You
dude, I got
lost
you
one
covered.
gold, right?
Okay, thank you.
he's running.
I got you covered.
He's running a tab.
Just put it on. Look, please put it on my tab.
just give him.
Put on,
this-
put it on the
Again?
put it
Yeah.
on the Acquisitions Incorporated corporate account.
The business
Oh,
expenses.
No,
My per diem.
I'm not explaining that.
You don't have to. You're not the documancer.
I was like,
No, but
It's
I'm the
a
hordes
welfare
person.
expense.
No, how you spend your individual treasure is completely up to you.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
anyway,
So we wrap up our first evening in Pinedale, and like I said, we've got about 2 days before before your mission proper, before you're supposed to meet with the centaurs, Cloafin and her younger brother Dryafin.
Mhm.
So, is there any business you would like to attend to? Anything you would like to do in Pinedale
yes.
Yes. Several things.
besides drinking and whoring?
The next morning I would like to go find Malia.
Oh yeah, the
The leader of the
yes,
merchant that we let on.
right.
I want to go check in on her and make sure everything's okay with everybody, and just make sure that everyone survived the journey okay and no one's too malnourished or whatever.
Okay. So her her shop is on the like the northern edge of town, almost directly where the bridge comes over the river. Like
Mhm.
her shop is like the first shop. It's a decent sized shop called MTS Trading Company. Goods and provisions on the sign. And she's yeah, they're open. They're already starting to do their trading that with the people of town, trading for goods and various sundries.
Yeah, I'll hang out until she's not busy.
Yeah, she gives you a nod and she deals with her deals with the customers there, and then she's able to hand it off to one of her workers to like work the counter, and she comes over to you and says, "Master Dwarf, good morning."
Good morning. I just checking in on you and make sure that everybody's okay and got home all right and isn't too malnourished after staying in a tavern, a shithole little place in the woods for 10 days.
We're all a little tired and no worse for wear, though. We were able to eat our fill last night, so thank you to you and your companions for.
As long as you guys are all right, that's what matters.
We're absolutely. We truly appreciate you helping us, and it should go without saying that if you need help procuring any supplies, please, think of us first.
I think Hugon would be the one to worry about that. That's kind of his job.
Well,
But if I ever need anything personally, I'll
if
certainly
you can get us on
reach out.
his preferred providers list.
I'll try and be
the preferred vendors list.
I will try and be an influencer in your favor.
I truly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure. And if you ever need anything that we can help with, don't hesitate to reach out. Like, we'll do our best to help out as well. Like,
It's truly appreciated.
it's like I said, we weren't exactly going to leave you there.
It's truly appreciated.
Anyway, I'll let you get back to running your shop and everything. And next time, I'll try not to win so much of your money.
You'll have to give me the opportunity to win some of it back.
Anytime. And I give it a not like a flirtatious wink, just a friendly like.
The more like the scoundrel wink.
Yeah. The Han Solo wink.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Han Solo is the scoundrel. The Lando Calrissian.
The Lando
is the lascivious.
Yeah.
Hey.
Licentious.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Yeah, no, it's totally anytime you and I tell her where we're staying and everything. I'm like, anytime you want to try come winning your money back, I'll do my best to match you. And as I'm leaving, I'll just whisper a dwarven blessing as I leave.
Right.
It's pretty much what I want to do.
And
I'm not really a priest. It's more just like a ritualistic.
It's a polite thing.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna go find the nearest library.
Okay. Well, while you're looking for the library, and not the library.
No, not the library. I do not need to get rid of brain. I do not need brains to leave Earth for no apparent reason.
Oh God. What else would everyone like to do with their day?
Hugon would like to locate, if possible, a Church of Kalimvor.
Oh, I was so hoping to go lurk on that, but
I mean, he's probably not rolling out of bed until like 1 in the afternoon.
That's true. That's true. So after I find the library, I'm gonna go tail Hugon.
Okay, so we'll come back to that in a second. We'll deal with some stuff there. Drenmai, Thunuk, what things were you guys looking to accomplish with your day?
Since I'm I know this area, and I'm assuming that I would know someone. I kind of want to do. Would I know anyone that would give me knowledge? I'm trying to find information on the River Giant Friend. So, would I have anyone that I could go to for lore or knowledge or history that would be able to tell me anything? Because he seemed not just like a giant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude was living in a river. So I'm assuming that there's something about him. Or would I have any kind of knowledge of a surrounding area?
Probably not directly of that, because the ways that you took never brought you near the giant. So,
okay.
And that particular river crossing. So the crossing you always took actually like went under the river, like way... Like, dipped down underneath. Like, you channeled. You did the channel.
Would I know anyone in my town that might have knowledge that I could go bug?
The problem, the all of the town's lore and histories are kept at Farrier's Hall, which is like the main depository of knowledge
Okay.
there. That would be your best bet to find that information.
I want to head there then.
Okay. Before we get to that, Thunic, is there anything that you would like to accomplish with your day?
Yes, I think what he's going to do is set up. Is there space on the roof of the bar, tavern, inn place that we're hanging out at? Like where you said, like a pigeon roost or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could
So
see
we're
that.
just gonna
I was like, what is
basically-
he doing on the roof?
And can it hold his weight?
Oh, that's more
That's
important.
the big thing.
I was
Literally.
gonna say, he's doing his own version of Fiddler on the Roof, but not quite. No, he's basically going to set up a small shop for like a bird doctor's office.
Aw.
But he is
Just say yes.
Yes.
He's the-
No,
he's
that
a character
happens.
of nature,
That
so he has to-
absolutely happens.
Okay, so he's a veterinarian.
he's sort of a veterinarian, but like
Okay, that's fine. It was a bird doctor's office.
think of that's my brain just wasn't working. I kept thinking think Dr. Doolittle, but he didn't get his med degree.
He learned in the Church of Real Life. This is like as awesome, but on the completely opposite end of the spectrum of what Hugon just did. Like, this is awesome sweet, as opposed to awesome whatever the hell it was that Hugon just did.
Awesome weird.
with a watermelon.
With a so you're getting set up. Hugon, we're having you sleep off the evening's fun.
Festivities.
Corbin, you make your way to the depository of knowledge, which is at Farrier's Hall.
I'm guessing I run into the gnome.
She has just gotten there and is starting to I guess she's paging through the books, like looking for her stuff.
I want to look for maybe like maps or something, or just any kind of giant lore.
Okay.
Although I still don't believe it's a giant.
Corbin, what is it that you are looking for?
Well, no, I just want to go familiarize
Oh,
myself
you just like to
with,
be around the books.
And, well, no, to find out there was one.
Yes.
But I also want to look up information on Ren Subtilia and the Emerald Enclave.
Ren?
Yes,
Oh!
who are going
Right,
to be our
right.
opposites
Yes,
in
yes,
the
yes, yes.
negotiations.
Okay. And clues you are looking for.
I'm looking for either maps of the surrounding areas or any kind of knowledge that would refer to a giant that lives in a river.
You're not seeing. Oh, actually, let's do this. Do you have like a research check, or do you have anything like that?
That would probably be
Like investigation?
Yeah, that'd be
Mhm.
investigation. Yeah.
Okay. An 18.
18. Okay.
18!
So yeah, you're able to find some limited maps of the immediate area.
Okay.
The problem with mapping the Chandlewood, as you know, is just that it's
I've got plans for that. Don't worry.
yeah the ways constantly shift. So there's vague ideas of where things are within the Chandlewood. So you can see
Okay.
where there's some tiny isolated villages. You know, there are small settlements around. Nothing that specifically mentions the giant. Nothing
Okay.
that specifically mentions that. It is possible to the lore keeper there does keep correspondence with Candlekeep, so it is possible to request information. It would be some time before said information could arrive if it's available, depending on where it is. But it is possible to make requests for information from Candlekeep.
Okay.
Corbin, give me an investigation check. Let's see how much you find in your first run through the library.
That would be 19.
19. So, um, it's
I
a
would also leverage my back story feat. of
yeah, where
read.
you know where to find it. Yeah. So again, same knowledge where one, you do know that the lore master there has correspondence with Candlekeep, and you can make requests for information, and you probably know what to ask for. Hey, we need this tome written by this person, and it might have some of the research materials. It's a pretty respectable collection, considering that this is basically a thriving town in the middle of nowhere. So a lot of it, some of it's been collected, some of it looks like it's been written locally. As far as the Academy Ren Subtilia and the Emerald Enclave, like, is there specific information that you're looking for? In
Who we
regards
are
to
likely to be dealing with, what they're into. Like, I'm not gonna help these dudes negotiate to put a wizard down in my thing if the Ren Subtilia are fucking necromancers.
Well, no, the Ren Subtilia are not necromancers. So they are a known mage academy, magic academy. Um, Typically, I mean, while every school has some of its bad apples that get spit out, some more than
Yeah.
others.
Yeah.
Ren Subtilia is actually a pretty respected, if somewhat.
Hmm.
So it's not like Ivy League, right?
Right. It's
Yeah.
like a
Where it only has like
one.
only has like 20 apprentices at any given time.
right.
Yeah.
They've been known to take in more apprentices.
Vast swathes.
Are they the MIT of Faerun?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
I mean,
They ain't that clever.
they're more like they're more like a state school, but a respected state school, where it's easier to get in. You obviously have to. It is somewhat competitive to get in, but they're willing to take more people. They're willing.
So
You don't
it's a
have to
bit
be from
more of
like you don't need to be from like a Waterdavian like
Right.
noble family in order to get
Right, right, right.
accepted. You know.
it's like they kind of teach people as a public service, kind of like, well, we don't want a whole bunch of hedge mages running around
Yeah.
setting the forest on fire. So
Exactly. Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like mentions of various mages that people have run into, and that's typically like in the books when they're documenting things, they're like, oh, we encountered this mage of this school of magic, and if they had like a specialty like nature magic or something along those lines. So yeah, there doesn't seem like there's nothing that you're coming across as saying that these are bad folks with nefarious purposes in mind.
The other thing I want to look for,
Yeah.
mainly so Corbin has the same knowledge that I have, is I want to look into the phrase omen and giants.
But
Because I know what
Yeah.
the omen is regarding giants, but Corbin doesn't.
that what the
Oh.
what they're
Like what omen means to giants, because the omen is a very specific thing to giants.
well, yeah,
and I know what it is, but Corbin doesn't, so I want to align my knowledge with my character's knowledge.
that might be one where you would need to request some information sent. They don't necessarily have a lot of.
Then I would request it.
Okay. But only if you say it that way.
Because I'm tired of sitting here going, I know what's going on. Basically.
But the cool thing is that there's forms for that.
Yes, I will happily fill out the forms.
Yeah. So yeah, you go to the lore master, and the lore master's like, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I mean, we have some books about giant clans that we've run into in the mountains, and but unfortunately, when it comes to giant culture, we have very, very little. Would you care to make a request of Candlekeep?"
Yes. How would I go about doing such a thing?
And he comes out goes, well, as you know, in Candlekeep, they're very particular about what they lend out. So, and he brings out the forms, and he goes, do you have an hour or two?
So I open up my documenty satchel.
Yeah.
and I pull out a roll like about this big,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I lay it on the table,
Mm-hmm.
and I unroll it, and it's all different types of quill.
It's like knives, except it's all and like
You know how like you have a chef with a knife roll,
Yeah.
or like
but you
if
have
you've
like the
seen-
knives, and it even has like different nibs,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
interchangeable nibs.
And I'm like, I'm like, yes. Do I have to fill it out here? Can I do it later? I've got an appointment.
Would you like it in
this afternoon.
black ink or blue ink?
Would you like it in like regular ink? I've got some magical inks, like.
It's like, dude, should this be with ostrich feather with the copper nib, or should this?
Or
be
would you
more-
prefer like phoenix feather with the gold nib, or what?
Written in dragon blood.
He says you could take.
I have a very good source of gnome blood.
He says no, black ink will be fine. Just yes, you can take the forms with you, and just when you have a moment, bring them back, and I will file them, and we'll start. Just know that it's going to take likely if they have the materials in stock, it'll take probably about 2 weeks in order to get.
Also, do you know anything about the law around here?
What exactly are you looking for?
Well, let's say I was to file suit against someone. Maybe, let's say, for, I don't know. Let's say I'm suing them, right?
Okay.
Would they have to cease all activity?
Oh, that would be decided by the council.
Right, okay. I'm going to need to see the council tomorrow. And with that, I just pick up everything and leave.
Okay.
Thank you!
So, why not, on that note, why don't we take a quick break, and when we
Okay.
reconvene, maybe Hugon will be awake. So, yeah, so why don't we take a quick break, and we'll come back in about 5 minutes. Will that work for everybody?
Sure.
Okay. All right, guys, we'll be right back.
Deep within the core of the forest can be heard and hear a spirit song sealed from long before. Now awaken to devour the essence of our soul.